Hello, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm here to tell you about some of my favorite things. A few years ago, I switched from doing monthly favorites videos to quarterly favorites videos, and I added in some categories. So every quarter I sit down and share with you my favorite things in 10 different categories. The categories are reading, listening, watching, wearing, cooking, planning, pampering, cleaning, doing, and loving. So let's start with reading, and if you follow me anywhere but YouTube, even YouTube, like if you watch the lives, you'll know this, you watch follow me on Instagram, if you get the email newsletter, which is where I share my books on a monthly basis, what I'm reading, it will come as no surprise to you that my favorite thing that I read in the last couple of months was the Throne of Glass series. I don't always love fantasy. I mean, I love Harry Potter, but I don't always love fantasy. But this book, I got into instantly, the series, and I became obsessed with it. I learned about it from Kendra from The Lazy Genius. And if you do read it or you have read it, she has on her Instagram who she would cast if they ever made it into a movie or a TV show. And it's magical. It's absolutely magical. If you are looking for a new book series, I cannot say enough good things about Throne of Glass. I'm obsessed with it. I happened to purchase it when it was on sale on Amazon, and you could get like the entire digital collection for $6, which was amazing because then I just like literally would click next into the next book without having to like figure anything else out. It was so easy. But even if you have to, like, I would have paid full price in retrospect to own this because it was that good. I don't have a nonfiction book to share with you this quarter. I finally finished one. If you watched last quarter's quarterly favorites, I was struggling with my nonfiction, and I still am to some extent. And the one nonfiction book I finished in the last few months, it was okay. So I'm not sharing it just because it was the only one. It's like my dad telling me that I'm his favorite daughter when I'm his only daughter. I'm not saying it was my favorite nonfiction because it was the only one. Let's move into listening. I don't actually have anything new to share in this category. I don't have any new podcasts, any new playlists, but what I have been trying to do better about, which I have shared in videos in the past. In fact, I think I included this in a favorites video years ago when I used to do monthly favorites video, and that is to listen to music instead of having something playing on Netflix in the background. There are some tasks that I do that I can have like a Netflix show that I've watched a million times, Gossip Girl, Gilmore Girls, Friends, whatever, in the background while I'm working on it. And well, sometimes I enjoy that, or even while I'm getting ready. If I don't want to listen to a podcast, I'm all caught up on YouTube, I will just put on a TV show, which I feel like we say Netflix in terms of almost like Kleenex. Clearly, none of those, actually Gilmore Girls is on Netflix, the other two are on HBO. So I'm saying that as like a catch-all for like TV shows that I have watched a million times. And I will put them on as background noise. Music makes me so happy. So I am just trying to be better about listening to more music and having that more as my background noise than TV shows that I've seen a million times. Speaking of TV shows though, let's move into the watching category. I have two shows I want to talk about. The first one is Bridgerton. I did finally watch the second season. I didn't watch it the weekend it came out. It was my birthday weekend, and I don't know, I didn't feel like watching it. And so I did finally watch the second season. I rewatched the first one first, and then I watched the second one. I don't know which one I like better. I know there's a lot of like mixed reviews on which one people liked better. Overall, I just really do enjoy the show. I think one of my favorite things about the show, which I was talking to Sam about, he didn't watch it with me, but he was asking me what I liked about it, is the family dynamic and like the big family. I have a big family, and I love just watching the Bridgerton family and their family dynamic. So I'm excited that they're continuing with that show. The other show that came back this quarter that I have been loving, and this is one that I watch with Sam, is Top Chef, and it's Top Chef Houston, which is so fun for us to watch. And we love Top Chef. I don't know what it is about it. We binge watched the entire show, like all the backlog of seasons a few years ago, and now we watch them when they come out, and I'm just so glad that it's back. All right, next category is wearing, and my favorite things that I've been wearing over the last few months, even maybe it's closer to like 6 months, is dresses from Amazon and shopping clothes on Amazon in general, really. Yes, it can be hit or miss. There have been things I've ordered from Amazon where the sizing is off or it doesn't look anything like the picture. But truthfully, if you read the reviews and are willing to take things back if they don't work, which Amazon has an amazing return policy, it works so well. I love shopping on Amazon. I love it. So I have been ordering a lot of dresses for various events, both when we were doing wedding stuff and then now going to weddings, and it has just been the absolute best. I will link some of my favorites down below, but shopping on Amazon, especially for dresses, has definitely been one of my favorite things. All right, the next category is cooking, and the thing I have to talk about in this category is actually a YouTube channel that one of you recommended for recipes, and I'm gonna mess up the saying of her name. I'm looking at it. It's Julia Pacheco. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it. I will leave it linked down below, obviously, but her recipe videos are fantastic. What I love about her videos, first off, she is very clear going into the video what the concept of the video is. So there are some of them that I won't even click on because it doesn't fit within the parameters of what I'm looking for in recipes. Number two, I love that she includes her cooking the recipe so I can see what's going on and decide even more so, besides just looking at a recipe link, if it's something that I want to do. And then number three, I know going into the videos, I may not use all of the recipes, but if I can watch one of her videos and take away like 1 to 3 basically of her recipes into things I want to try, it was successful for me, and I feel like that always happens when I watch her videos. All right, the next category is planning, and I'm gonna talk about something that I did talk about on a live last month, kind of impromptu, and I do plan to share it a little bit more thoroughly once I feel good about my system, and that is using a Kanban board. If you do not know what a Kanban board is, I learned about it from both Sarah on Heart Breathings and then from Cindy on her channel, and it is essentially a visual way to see all the things that you have to do, all the things that you're currently working on, and then all the things that you've already completed. And I am using one that I created myself. I got this 11 by 17 like acrylic stand from Amazon. It's meant to like put a poster board in to have it standing up with like a menu or something like that, but I just use it clear. And I use washi tape to mark off the sections. The difference in what I do and what Sarah and Cindy do, there's 2 big differences that have been working for me. And again, I likely will make a whole video on this when I feel ready to share it. But the first thing is that I only do 1 month at a time, partially because of the size. I just don't have room to fit 3 months of things. New York City apartment sized problems. Number 2 is that instead of having it be all the things I have to do, the currently and the things I'm going to get done, for the things that I'm currently working on, I actually have it along the side, and I have it in like a weekly format. So I have a little section. I'm not comfortable sharing it yet because there's things on there that projects that I'm working on that are kind of behind the scenes, which does make it difficult to share about. That's one of the other things that's holding me back. But instead of it being in the middle, I have a section on the side that I washi off that looks like it's like a weekly breakdown. So it's got a box for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so on and so forth. And that's how I map out my week in terms of currently working on. So I'm still playing around with it, but so far I've been loving it. And I think one of my favorite things about it is being able to see all the things that I've accomplished. Like being able to see the section of all the things I have done just makes me feel better when I do take time to rest, which I am not always good at, especially as an Enneagram type 3. I'm like, no, I need to keep doing, but when I can see all the things that I've done, that always feels really good. All right, the next category is pampering, and my favorites don't usually lend themselves to like the actual seasons, but we are going into summer, and this is something that I have been using for years in the summer, and I just started using it again in the last couple of months and will continue to use it, and that is my favorite body sunscreen. So I have talked about my favorite face sunscreen in a favorites video, but I've never talked about my favorite body sunscreen. This is from Hawaiian Tropic, and it is the Ultra Radiance sunscreen. This gives your body just this like glow. Literally this past weekend, I put it all over my body because I was gonna be outside in the sun, and my friend that I was with was like, you just look so glowy, and not like, you're clearly not super tan, but it just looks like your skin, your legs, your arms, they just look nice and glowy was the word she kept using. It's this, I swear it's this. I learned about this from a beauty YouTuber. I'm obsessed with it. All right, the next category is cleaning, and I really struggled to come up with something for this category. I even use it as a catch-all for anything household related, and I just don't have anything new in our house that I've been loving in the last few months. And I think that this particular category, I also struggled a bit with listening to, made me think, do I need to get away from the 10 categories, or do I need to change them? So there was one category that I was thinking about adding in, which is learning. I felt like I could also use this category to talk about something social justice related that I've learned in the quarter. So learning was something that popped up instead of cleaning, because household and cleaning is just not something I change up that often. But I would love to hear in the comments below. Do you like the categories? If you do you have any other ideas, any other categories that you would love to see me include? Please comment below and let me know. So while I was working on this video, I did look around the room I was in and was like, okay, what's something I love in this room, even if it's not new, that I could share about? And I decided to share about these armrest things that I have on our couch. So we don't have space for a coffee table in our living room. It's just too small. And so we have these little armrest things that we use for drinks and things when we're sitting on the couch. And I've been doing a lot of like working from the couch lately when I need a break from my office, especially, well, this is opposite of what I said earlier, when I want to have like Netflix on. I can put Netflix on the TV and then work on the couch. I love having the little like armrest thing. They're just from Amazon. We've got one on each arm and they're the best. All right, the next category is doing, and I usually use this category as like a habit that I have been implementing in the last few months. And I don't really have a new habit to talk about, but I have a habit related tip or thing that I have been doing a lot that I want to remind you of if you haven't heard me talk about it in another video. And that is rearranging your routine as you need to. My morning routine is something I've been working on for years and years. And I just recently posted another morning routine video a couple of weeks ago. It's already changed. Y'all, it has already changed. Not like all that, like nothing massive about it has changed, but I have already rearranged some of the steps from that routine. And while sometimes I get frustrated, I'm like, well, then I just should have not posted the video. No, in that moment, that was my morning routine. But the tip is to rearrange as you need to. I realize sometimes that things belong in a different order based on a different season that I'm in. So a tip, but also a reminder that if you need to rearrange the order of your routine or take something out, make something longer, make something shorter, it doesn't mean that routine's not working. It doesn't mean that you're failing. It just means that there might be something that works better for you given everything you have going on right now. And then the last category is loving, and this is just kind of supposed to be a catch-all category of something that I have been loving in the last few months. And the thing I have to talk about this category is making me laugh because this is all Sam. He is the one that tried it first and then got me into it. And if you do not have a Peloton, this is not gonna be helpful for you, but I have been loving the Peloton Game Lane Breaker. So they released a new gamified version of a Peloton ride. It's essentially like DDR meets Guitar Hero meets Peloton. That's what it is. And it is so much fun, and I can't wait for them to release more rides because it gets me so motivated and the time absolutely flies by. And I work harder than I would in another class typically. All right, that is it for my favorites the last few months. I hope that you still find these videos helpful and get some sort of idea or inspiration from them. If you do like it, please let me know by giving it a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. Awkward intro. That's not what I meant to say. So glad that it's back. Where's my voice? Hold on, that was a weird start. Favorites of the last few months.